Is Steph Curry a
Now, the
simp?
reason why I came to that conclusion about Steph Curry is because, dude, I don't think Steph Curry's stupid, man, because there's only really two options, right? This, the first option, he's not too bright, he's being manipulated, he's being deceived, he's being bullied, and he's a doofus, right? Now, that's the first option. But everything has to line up, you know what I mean? So when you look at Steph Curry and everything else that he does, right? Anything that he does business wise, he's neither any of those things. He's very smart, very intelligent, very articulate. You know what I mean? He's always thinking. When he's playing basketball, he's one of the smartest basketball players ever to live. You know what I mean? So, his father was a brilliant basketball player. They had basketball IQ coming out. They had the craziest basketball IQ. So, Steph Curry has never, ever, ever been a person that you could relate, a person that you could associate a dumb decision with, right? When he opens his mouth after the interviews, after he plays the game, when he opens his mouth, just pure wisdom and pure logic comes out. You know what I mean? So why would I think that when it comes to his marriage, he's the dumb one? You know what I mean? Now, no disrespect, Ayesha Curry, I honestly do not remember a time where she spoke and you're like, wow, this is a wise woman. No disrespect. But I've never seen a time like that. Every time she opens her mouth, something crazy and reckless comes out. Nonsensical things come out. But it's not the same as Steph Curry. So if that's the case, could Steph Curry be the one co-signing this? You know what I mean? Could Steph Curry be the individual that, let's say, is like, you know what? I'm going to let my wife do this crazy stuff, and I'm going to step back in the background and just chill. You know what I mean? And then monitor this whole thing as it happens. Because, like I said, man, dude, look at this, okay? This is... Hold on a second here, okay? John Morant, okay? The man says to the dude, yes, you are the best shooter. Use a Glock 9mm. Like, that's gun talk right there, man. Like, that ain't no punk. Like, dude, Steph Curry's arrogant, man. Like, yo, you're talking to a dude that just shot up something already, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, Steph, I ain't buying it no more, man. I ain't buying it. Because when I seen that picture once again of your wife dressed in, God knows, mesh, a mesh dress that's see-through, and you were standing right beside her, man, proud of her. You know what I mean? Proud of her. You weren't disgusted. Like, you were showing her off, man. That was some industry event you were going to. But you were proud of her. You probably picked the outfit out, you know what I mean? She was probably in the back saying, I don't know, it's too revealing stuff. But you're like, don't worry, babe. I like it when people look at you. Because I feel like a superstar. I think that's the type of dude Steph Curry is, man. Because, when Ayesha Curry opens her mouth, a lot of stuff comes out, you know what I mean? Like, for example, she was like, Steph was a little nerd in high school, skinny, not cool, socially awkward, all these things, right? And she was the aspiring model and actor and all that kind of stuff, right? So I believe that, I think they also met on a Drake video shoot or something like that or whatever. But yeah, she was an inspiring actor. You could tell in high school she was, the little popular little pretty girl that, probably all the dudes are running down, but ain't nobody was running down Steph Curry. You know what I mean? And also at the same time, Steph Curry's basketball skills did not develop at that time yet. You know what I mean? Like, just for example, look at the brother, right? Seth, right? He's pretty decent, but nobody cares about him. You know what I mean? And he's been in the league for a bit. So Steph Curry, even in college, his skills were okay, but not to the point where people knew his name, right? So you could see Steph Curry looking up to her, and I believe it. I believe it when she was saying that this guy was running me down, and I didn't want no part of him. He was a little nerd, whatever. I believe her. You know what I mean? I believe that she didn't, when she looked at him, that was definitely not her first option. You know what I mean? I believe that. And then once Steph Curry's game started, nicing up, once he started getting that contract, once his skills became a lot better, the whole world started taking notice, right? And when the whole world started taking notice, a lot of girls started taking notice, a lot of endorsement deals started taking notice, all these things. And that's when Ayesha Curry was like, yo, I better hold on to this, you know what I mean? This my meal ticket right now. But you got to remember, these guys be messing with each other, or at least knew each other for a long, long time. So Ayesha Curry, she treats Steph Curry the same way she used to treat him when they were kids. And when they were kids, she ran the show. And he was the little nerd guy. But now, from the outside, it looks like Steph Curry is the big shot right now. And the roles reversed. But, it's one of those things, when you got the little skinny dude and, he's timid, he can't fight, he can't do nothing. All of a sudden now, he starts going to the gym, he gets muscles, he gets huge. And for people that never knew that little kid before, they get afraid, because now dude is muscular and walking around is a big shot. But you know what? He's still a punk, though. He still can't fight. He's just big. He just looks like he could do something, but he's still a punk. His mentality's still the same. He's just a little bit different. A lot more, muscles, and he's a lot bigger and a lot more confidence on the outside, but on the inside, he's still that little timid little boy that still is afraid of confrontation. And you know what? Those kind of dudes, right? They do a lot of stuff to compensate for the lack of confidence that they have, right? And I honestly believe Steph Curry likes it when Ayesha Curry is 3 or 4ing. When she's outside dressing and God knows, I don't know what she's wearing. I think Steph Curry likes that, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what Cassie said about Puffy. You know what I mean? She said Puffy lacked confidence in certain areas when it came to his masculinity, if you know what I mean, right? That he overcompensated by hiring all these male escorts to I guess live through them out. That's what Cassie said, understand? And I actually believe it, because which man would hire male prostitutes to mess with his wife or to mess with his girlfriend? Only a dude that was extremely insecure. Only a dude that was like, he lacked a lot of exactly what Cassie was saying. So I think with Steph Curry, it's a very similar scenario. Obviously not to the freak offs and the baby oil foolishness that Puffy and Cassie are doing, but I actually think it's the same thing. You know what I mean? I actually think he likes it. Because if he didn't, why wouldn't he stop it? Because we're talking about legacy here, you know what I mean? We're talking about this dude is putting his legacy on the line. If what she was doing he was really against, he would have stepped up and say, "Yo, this is it." You know what I mean? Like, listen, if we got some issues, we deal with it behind closed doors. You don't go on the Jada Pinkett show, red table, and just air out all our business. You don't do that, man. This is our family, and you gotta respect our family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't say nothing about you. So please, we got kids. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna see these videos. They're gonna grow up and see the fact that you said you didn't even want these kids. You know what I mean? They're gonna wake up one day and look at these outfits. You know what I mean? And that's how they're gonna perceive how how they should respect women or not. You know what I mean? They're gonna wake up and see you disrespect me. If he really was against all of that, he would have sat her down and say, "Yo, you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna air out our dirty laundry on a public forum, okay?" But he didn't do that. He's just doing nothing. But when other dudes start jumping in and try to defend him, that's when he has his mouth. That's when he's a rude boy. That's when this dude, he's going back and forth, man, with these guys, like, hardcore. But where's that same energy when your wife is talking reckless about you? You know what I mean? He must like it. That's the only conclusion I could honestly come up with. He must like it. Probably one of those dudes, I don't know, that likes to, I don't know, man. Maybe he's one of those dudes that like to be dominated or put on a leash or something like that. No, but it's the only conclusion I could come up with why Steph Curry allows this and even enables it and just acts as if that this is not